this week. I think we all kind of came up with the topic last minute.
Kind of.
Mine was like 5 minutes before we went live. Logan's was probably just now.
Let's be real, though. Yours is always 5 minutes before we go live.
Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, I brought this up to Weston like maybe an hour ago. And I didn't decide what I was actually going to do.
Until 5 minutes before?
Until 5 minutes before. So I guess now that we're talking about my topic, I could go first if you guys would like.
Have at it.
Go for it.
So, wow, Logan, you just seem dead today.
Sorry, I'm super tired.
I think we're all tired, Jordan, except you for some reason.
Probably because you just woke up.
Probably.
Probably.
We all worked a full day.
I woke up at noon. Anyways, so I was at church the other night, with all of you guys, and
Oh, are you starting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just going random story.
No, like this is my topic.
Oh.
So I was at church the other night, and at the end of everything, I was sitting there talking with people, hanging out, like we normally do at the end of everything, and this kid came up to me out of nowhere. I don't know why. He came up to me and goes, "I like your beard," and like actually started petting my face. And it was so weird. I just kind of looked at him. I'm like,
maybe he just likes Kesha.
That's what I was gonna say. I literally, when you told me the story the other day, I was thinking of that, like the end of TikTok.
But no,
that's a different song, not TikTok. I can't think of it. Or Your Love Is My Drug.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, he started like petting my beard. And was like, "I really like your beard." And I'm like, I looked at him like, "Excuse you?" And I was like, "You can grow your own, so you don't have to rub other people's." And he's like, "Well, no,
Can he though?
He goes,
"You don't know this for sure."
Yeah.
He told me he couldn't.
Oh.
But that leads into my question for you guys.
It's beard envy, man.
It must be, but it leads into my question for you guys, which is, what is something that has happened to you in public that is just so weird? It's something that someone has said or done to you in public that you just have to look at and think, do you not have any boundaries, or like what's going on in your brain to even bring this up or even to do this in the first place? Because that's happened to me a ton. But
I was gonna say, when you mentioned this earlier, I did think of one, and it's not that weird. It was just like kind of had to look around like that just happened. I was at the Hy-Vee here, and they recently got those self-checkout machines, and
yeah.
For me, people my age, that's easy to figure out. Every now and then you feel like you have to help the older generation person next to you with theirs.
Yeah, for sure.
So Hy-Vee has the really loud card machines. Like, you can tell when you left your card in there, because
it goes like
doo-doo-doo. Yep.
Doo-doo-doo.
This lady left her card in there, and it did that for about 2 minutes while she was gathering her stuff, and then she just started leaving. And I'm like, "Ma'am, your card." She's like, "Oh." Claps me on the back real hard. That would have been embarrassing. Grabs her card and leaves. And I'll like sit there like, "Yeah, have a good day."
I just got assaulted by an old lady at Hy-Vee.
I didn't understand the clap on the back card, but
no, because like with my job and stuff, there's a ton of stories that I could tell about just weird things people have said or weird things I've seen people do, right?
It's usually when they're drunk, dude.
Yeah, that's usually when they're drunk. But
Yeah.
even like when they're not drunk, it still blows my mind, just the stuff that some people say. Because like even the name of this channel came from a story like that, where that old lady at the baseball game called me fat.
No, huge.
Huge.
Right.
She called me huge.
Huge.
But still,
Huge.
she looks me up and down. She goes, "You're a huge man." I'm like, "I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not that big." She goes, "Well, I'm not talking about your height."
Yeah.
So I'm like, who says that? And then this kid rubbing my beard. Who does that? Just walked up to someone in public like, "Hey, I love your beard, Weston."
Well, thank you.
Like, who does this?
Well, everyone loves Weston's beard.
I'd say it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
So what's your guys' experience? Because I honestly cannot believe that some people just like they obviously have a brain of some sort because they're alive, but I think a part's missing with like the thinking things.
Or they just have the weird gene.
Maybe that's also a thing.
People are just awkward and don't know what's socially acceptable.
Oh, extremely. But like, what's a moment that you've had where you just think of and you're like, is that really where this needs to go? Like, because I don't know, in my mind there's plenty of moments like that I can think of, but I want to know what you guys have for your experiences, just to make it seem like I'm not the only one that's had some weirdo come up and say something or do something like that.
I think, not necessarily like a weirdo came up to me, but like it was an awkward exchange I had. I think my senior year of prom. I got done, like we did the Grand March or whatever, and like we're walking down, and it was after that, and so everybody's like kind of talking, and like the parents were talking to the people and taking pictures before they left, before the dance started. One of the parents that I never talked to that much ever came up to me and's like, you could play Superman in a movie. And I said, I literally like, I think I actually laughed at her because I was like, what are you talking about? Well, I looked back at it and after the fact, and the reason why I think she said that was because my hair is curly. And so the way I had it styled, it had kind of like the S curve. I look like Tim's actually right now.
Mine gets really curly.
So like my head kind of had like an S curve right there, and I think that's what she meant. But it's like really awkward. I'm like,
Why would that mean you can play Superman in a movie?
yeah, it was really weird. It was really awkward, and
So
that's
you
probably
look
what.
nothing like Henry Cavill. I'm just throwing that out there.
Well, I mean, you can be by Superman anytime you want.
I appreciate it. So that's probably one that comes to
no.
mind for me, at least.
No, I would not cast you in that way. You have far better heroes that you would be suited for. So
That could be a topic one week.
What superhero would you be?
Yeah,
I'd be the one that eats a lot.
but like not. But you don't pick it. Like we
But,
all
like-
discuss who you have.
Oh,
But what if Superman was played by Rowan Atkinson?
That would be good.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that's the guy from.
That's Mr.
Supernatural.
Bean.
no. It's,
Oh, I thought that was. I'm thinking of. Who am I thinking of?
You agreed to it.
I mean,
Yeah, it is.
he could play Superman in a movie.
Yeah. The best part is he agreed to it.
as soon as you said that, I knew where you were going with it.
I thought I was getting. I keep forgetting that's his name. I was thinking of the guy from Supernatural.
Jensen Ackles.
Yes, there you go. I don't know.
Oops.
Yeah,
Someone forgot to silence their phone.
but yeah.
What a scrub.
Blame Sketch. He just went live.
God,
It's
no
his fault.
scrubs.
No
I think
phones.
it's your fault. But
But all right, so you're a professor. Have your students ever said anything to you that's just like,
Have you been to a
Yes.
college?
I know. I
yeah,
know. I know
I-
for a fact Weston has, because I know a couple of his students.
oh, I
I
know
mean-
a couple of them as well, and I thought it was
Oh,
one of your
yeah.
students that rubbed my face.
one in particular.
Yeah, I actually have another
Well,
one.
there are a couple in particular who are always saying really weird things, but I'm not really like. I've reached the point where I just kind of brush them off. I've learned to just accept the fact that they're going to say weird, awkward, and stupid things. So I just don't even like listen to them anymore on those. You know, it's kind of sad, but like I can't really pinpoint any of them anymore because I'm so used to it that it's kind of my normal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'll never
does.
forget. I think it was one of your students that I made storm out of a room because of something I said.
I'm pretty sure you've made a few people storm out of their room, Jordan.
No, but one
That
in
guy
particular.
really likes me.
Are we talking about?
We're not quite friends, just acquaintances. If you know what I mean.
I know what you're talking about.
Because
That was a fun time.
when we were in that small group and I made him storm out, I'm sure he said something. There's no way he hasn't said something to you that's just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Oh,
Is this the same kid?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
talking the same guy.
Oh no, he's not. He is kind of around, but he's not around. You know,
Mm-hmm. He's gone now.
Oh,
he's
thank
probably
God.
joined Antifa.
Right? I thought you already was part of Antifa.
Anarchy.
Oh, him.
He,
Oh,
from what I heard, he actually did go and join for a while. So.
Bye, Logan.
No, Logan, you're not allowed to announce your retirement. I will cry.
No, but
I first read that as
Ah,
Jensen Ankles.
It's Dean Winchester.
Dean Winchester.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean, go to college and walk through campus town any night, and you'll see lots of stuff.
Yes.
Oh yeah, most assuredly.
I was gonna say you're
I was
one of the few here. I mean, Weston did too. That went to an actual university.
yeah. I went to Iowa State University, and I kind of had to walk through. I was always, at the College of Design, like really late at night and stuff. So I'd have to walk like across campus and through campus town to get to my dorms for the most part. So you people watch, it's fun. So I was like walking past the Superdog stand, gonna stop, get a Superdog maybe, and I got propositioned to go home with a man. And
And you said yes, right?
no, I did not. No, he just came and was like, "Hey, honey, you're cute. Want to come home with me?" And I'm like, "No, thanks."
This is like,
Have a
I do
good night.
not like that.
Just got my super dog and left.
Well, if we're going to the university times, I remember there's one time in my dorm at Norrin, okay?
I think
There
we're thinking the
was-
same
There's a
thing,
terrible
Tim.
joke in there.
Oh, I know.
There was a
I know.
guy.
Shut your face.
Wait, what's going on here?
Typical Jordan being a loser.
Shut up, Jordan. All right.
Tim
I
left first.
I looked at your face and was like, "No, Jordan, don't do it." I think Logan just caught on.
Oh man.
Jordan.
This one wasn't even me. This was Tim. This wasn't even me.
In the words of Shaggy, it wasn't me.
Both of you go in your corners, please.
Bye.
Yeah.
All right. But no, like, if we're going back to university times, there is one that actually stands out to me.
Oh yeah, just
Okay.
anytime.
Like, this is one of them that actually, like, does stand out to me from my memory. Once he mentioned university, I was like, yeah, I remember this. In Norrin, okay? First off, guys' dorms, pretty much anything goes, right? There was a guy who, I don't know what happened, but he was walking around butt naked, going door to door asking if we had any spare underwear for him.
Did you?
No.
Oh,
And, like, it was, if you want to know an awkward conversation, he didn't even try to cover anything at all. And
I think
he
that's probably the point, Weston.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was, but it was still very
That's
awkward.
one of those moments where you're like, he lost a bet.
Exactly.
Or-
That's what I've assumed ever
he,
since.
He either lost a bet or he's just like
Or
he's
he's
tweaking
joining-
out on something.
Or he's joining a frat.
It's
I,
hazing.
I've assumed it's either the. Actually, I don't think it was the frat. I'm pretty sure it was he lost a bet
Gotcha.
because down in the basement of Norrin, it was notorious for having a group of card players.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's funny.
like cards or like Yu-Gi-Oh or
yes,
Pokemon?
yes, totally, Tim.
Logan should
Totally.
join that one.
They play Pokemon cards.
Totally. No, poker, lots of it.
Pokemon.
The gambling.
I thought of it, but I was gonna say it, but Jordan went for it. Pokemon.
Shut up, Jordan. But no,
Can I just get a?
that was
I
very
need to
awkward on my end, just because I didn't expect it at all.
Could you find that audio? I need that as a button. Shut up, Jordan, but in Weston's voice.
Can we actually do that? Because we need that.
We definitely do.
I can get a
We do need
soundboard.
that.
That'd be
Also,
fun.
I just looked over and I can see one of your beard hairs sticking out of your mic.
It's true. I see it.
It's gone now.
You should have
Check
said something. You
mine
could have
out.
cloned it
All right, we're good with mine.
Why would I want to clone Dan?
because Dan's
No
awesome.
one wants that.
I could truly
Dan
have
and
Dan on-
Stan.
I would use him for his art skills and have him just design all the
I don't have
emotes for
any
this channel.
art skills.
Oh, shut up, Dan.
I do not have any
That's
art
new one.
skills.
Shut up, Dan.
We need to shut up everyone. You can play your own shut up Tim.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was a common phrase in school.
I bet
Shut
it
up,
was.
Tim.
It's a common phrase now.
It is.
No, it's like another really weird story that I can think of is, you know, like when I'm working at the bars and stuff, just some of the things that I see people do. And
The time you got confused as the entertainment. for
oh,
Bachelor-
that's happened a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I know they're drunk, is they think I'm a stripper.
That's the only way you can tell they're drunk.
Well, that's step number one. If they think I'm attractive, they've had a few too many.
That's
so,
true.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I've been there.
No, so there was one bachelorette party. They offered me, I think it was 50 or $100. It was 50 or 100. It was $100. They offered me $100 to strip for 30 minutes, and it was the bachelorette. It was her mom, her friend's wife, because they were a couple, and I think and then there was one other chick. But I'm like, so one's getting married. The other one is married. The other two are married to each other. It's like, why? You know, I'm like, why would you ask me to be your entertainment?
Am I terrible if the first question that came to mind was how much would you have done it for?
No.
You know, I actually did tell them, I'm like, my dignity's worth a lot more than $100. Like, I was just like, I'm not gonna
No.
do that.
Jordan, the reason they chose you is because they knew that they could remain faithful even through it all.
Whoa.
I love you, Jordan.
They just wanted some humor for the night.
I was gonna say, did you have your vest on or something? Because like I feel like if you would have took it off, they'd be like, okay, you pay us $100.
I mean, yeah, I was full uniform, so I had the vest that was compressing all
Take it
the...
up. No, put it back on.
It's like that Little Caesars ad. There's no rules.
There's one rule!
There's one rule.
No, it was one of those things, though, where I'm like, why? You know, like... Oh, then there was another time. Same place. There was a
Why are you pointing just at me?
because you brought up
You
this
just want to
story.
know.
I guess.
Because you brought up this story. I think I told you about this one as well. There was like 2:30 in the morning. A group came back, and there was some old lady who was like 65, 70 years old, right? She came up to me. She goes, "Well, I'm locked out. Can you help me get into my room?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that. Like, no problem." So I'm like, "So what room are you in?" She goes, "Oh, it's down here." So I'm walking down here with this old lady, and she goes, "Well, actually, my room's all the way over there, but I brought you over here because I fancied giving you a kiss." And I was like, "Nope. Like, we're going to go over here, and we're going to get you back in your room that you're supposed to be in. And that's not going to happen, you know?"
Jordan goes to forego the lock and just kicks the door in, like, get in there.
At that point, yeah, I was tempted. Just be like, get in there as fast as you can. Like, let's just, so many drunk stories I could tell you guys. Like, we could just go for hours just on that.
I got another one. So
Let's hear it.
this, I don't know why I
What's
just remember this.
Superman? Is it Spider-Man?
No, so
Batman?
this one is actually like, this one like freaked me out at first.
As
So
Logan decides to talk directly into his mic
sorry.
for once.
Of course.
What was it? I think it was 2 years ago. I think it was like right before I moved. I just got home from, I think it was Laker Life. So it was like pretty late, like 11:30 or whatever.
Sure.
And I pull into my driveway, get out of my car, and I hear this guy yelling at me. And I'm like, it's like 11:30 in Armstrong. Like, who's awake right now? I look over, and this guy's like yelling from the apartment buildings, like right up the street. And he's like, "I need help. Somebody's got a gun, and they're like taking my house and all. They're taking my apartment." And I'm like, "What the heck?" And so I'm like, "Okay, sir, stay right there. Let me go call," because my dad was best friends with the town cop.
Mhm.
And so I'm like,
Okay, hold on. Before
How small the town?
Yeah,
The one
before
town
we move
cop.
on, let's just point out the fact that he says my dad's friends with the town cop. So that implies that he's in a town so
Yep.
small.
Well, Armstrong
Yeah.
is very
There's
small.
one.
Armstrong
It
is very
is.
small. Armstrong is very-
He's in a town so small. There's one
So
cop.
I don't know if he has a number. So I texted him. I'm like, or I actually called him. I'm like, "Hey, this guy's like saying somebody's trying to rob him, and they're in his house, and he's like freaking out." And he's like, "Okay, I'll send one of the sheriffs because I'm not on right now." And so one of the sheriffs comes in.
Right from
deals with
Esterville,
it.
so that's a decent
Yeah.
drive.
So turns out what happened is this guy has dementia. He had like early onset dementia, and he literally thought somebody was robbing him. And
Wow, way to just take the story down a...
so
I don't know. I'm sad.
because I was like really really scared. I'm like, is somebody getting robbed right now? Like, is this guy like in serious trouble? So I waited outside for till the whole thing was done, and then sheriff pulled down, and I talked to him. I was like, "Hey, like, is he okay? Like, what's going on?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's we know about him. Like, his daughter, they're about to move him into a home like a couple weeks, but yeah, he's got dementia." And it's like, it sucks that obviously he has dementia, but I was like very relieved to
It's
see
good
like
that that's
he
all
was
it
okay.
was.
Yeah, I was very relieved to see he was okay, but like that was definitely like an awkward, like weird, because I was like got out of my car and this guy's yelling, it's like somebody's robbing me. I'm like, we're in Armstrong, Iowa. Like, what is going on?
Who's robbing who there?
Yeah,
There's like 50 people in that town at most.
exactly. So
No, there's more than 50.
Okay, at least
There-
52. No, but there's a
Wait. Are we counting the cats and dogs?
there's more cats than there are people in Armstrong.
that does not surprise me at all.
Probably.
So
dead dogs.
Christ, Logan, let's talk about dead dogs next.
I was gonna say, to try to lighten the mood after Logan's story, he reminded me of a story I read on. So this wasn't me. I read a lot of fun stories on radio and everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's your job.
I think this was like New York or something. Let's say Florida, because everything happens in Florida.
Man.
So this guy was methed out, so that's why he thought people were chasing him with a
So
gun.
it wasn't the Wendy's guy.
It
I was gonna
wasn't
say
the-
it wasn't
was-
the alligator
So
man.
this
No.
was their non-sober plan.
Yeah. So anyway, this dude running from a guy with a gun, or at least his methed out brain said he was running from a guy with a gun, scales 2 walls, climbs up a balcony, gets into a lobby area because he's gonna be safe there, right? That's the lobby of the county jail. He broke into jail.
It's definitely safe there though.
That's definitely Florida.
So
I mean, he's
obviously
safe,
he's
yeah.
methed out and he's gonna fight the police when they try to like confront him, like, "Hey, what are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And they found a bunch of stolen credit cards on him.
That's awesome. That kind of reminds me, there was a time here where someone got arrested for DUI, and the next morning, after they were going to get let out, their ride shows up to bail them out, and to get them out of jail. their ride showed up drunk as well. So they got that driver that came to pick them up for DUI. They got him for DUI as well.
Did the guy
Smart
getting
people.
released just take that car though? Like, okay,
Smart
thanks, bye.
people.
I don't know what happened with that,
Thanks,
but
I'll
yeah,
come
they,
pick you up in the morning, and I'll be drunk. And then it's just a cycle. Like every day, they just have this 2 people coming
Yeah.
in.
We'll set up a schedule.
be like every day 9 a.m. I'll show up wasted. No, so he actually showed up drunk to go pick this dude up from jail. It's like, are you not thinking? Like a lot of
That's
people.
a
just don't
loyal
think.
friend.
That is,
That's a moron.
It is a moron.
Yeah.
but loyal.
A moron.
Moron is
Loyal.
the better way to word
But
that.
loyal.
You don't even know if he's actually loyal. He just might be so drunk that he just did it.
True.
That is very
Speaking of people who aren't loyal, there was one time I was working as well.
I thought you were gonna segue that into the next topic. I'm like, wow, who are you gonna
like,
throw under the
whoa, what
bus?
is
No,
We haven't
no.
told stories
So-
for 20 minutes.
That's true.
No.
We'll do this one. This is just one more since I already started talking about it. There was a couple that I found behind an ice machine. You can imagine what they were doing at a hotel, and I'm like,
They're
hey,
playing with Legos, right?
Getting nice.
yes, they were
Playing Magic the Gathering.
That's a good one, too.
Yes,
I mean,
Very likely.
yes. But anyways,
Quidditch.
I'm like, hey guys, I go, you can't do this here. Like, you got to go back to your rooms, whatever.
With your Legos in your room.
Yeah. Go play board games somewhere else, you know? And they were like, well, we can't. I go, why not? And the guy goes, because my wife's in my room and her husband's in hers. And I sat there just dumbfounded. I'm like, well, I'm like, can't do that. You're like, go be with them. I'm like, you're married, like, you know, just.
Should have asked for the room numbers and then called up their spouses.
I really should have.
You really should have.
I really should have.
I would have done it. I would have been like, hey, is this so and so? Yeah, I found your husband.
Can you come get him?
Can you come get him?
Yeah, I actually did that though with one guy when he asked a girl working the front
Another
desk
story
to flash him for $20. I called him out on it in front of his wife. Then he tried to fight me. That was a fun time. From New Ulm, Minnesota.
They made a movie there
Fantastic.
Did they really?
once. New in Town. It says it's filmed in New Ulm, but it's actually filmed in Canada
Oh,
because New Ulm is not that northern.
I mean,
Is it New Ulm,
it's
Canada?
Minnesota, Canada. I mean, at that point, it's basically the same thing. But
Yeah.
Not quite.
speaking of same thing, should we move on to?
Yeah,
Something
I'd say we've
different?
Someone
spent
else?
long enough on this
Speaking
topic.
of saying, let's do something different.